Now the planet Serra may seem to be like Earth in some aspects, but Serra is the home to some of the most monstrous and strange creatures that are part of the expanded universe. So as always, I'm your host Abz, and here are the unknown creatures in Gears of War lore. So, in this video, we won't be explaining the common hollow creatures seen in the Gears universe, such as the corpses and the Brumacs. This is more to do with the unknown creatures that many will not know of. So let's get into it. The South Islands on Serra were notorious to house gigantic animals that were big enough to even dwarf a Brumac in size. One of these creatures was known as the Beast of the Island of Pahanu, which seemed to be an unknown dinosaur species and references Serra's own living dinosaurs. But this was poorly studied, so we don't know much about it. It had an elaborate skull structure and had canines, so it was a potential carnivore amongst many other large creatures, along with a long and thick vertebra which would have supported its gargantuan weight. Another one of the many apex super predators living on the island of Pahanu was this unidentified carnivore. Now, not much is known about this creature other than its remains. However, this creature seemed to be a mammal, as indicated by the remaining patches of dark black fur still left and its large size. The skull of this animal was as big as a blood mount, easily indicating that this beast grew to sizes such as that of a Brumac or a corpser. The presence of thick canines and mandibles indicates a carnivorous diet, specializing in breaking bone and ripping apart flesh. Another gargantuan beast native to the island of Pahanu was the Wakaatu, a giant bird-like beast that spit out extremely toxic and corrosive venom that can destroy all organic matter, causing it to dissolve into goo. To the Wakaatu, they view all non-Wakaatus within its territory as a potential threat. Whether it's a human, locust or swarm, it doesn't matter. Unlike most conventional birds, the Wakaatu is unique in that it has 6 wings rather than 2. It is unknown how or why the bird evolved to be an octopod, but this is perhaps because the 6 wings allow the large bulk of the bird to maintain lift. This is supported by its rapid wing flaps, synonymous with hummingbirds, suggesting that the Wakaatu has an immense metabolic rate and must eat constantly to retain its energy. Other unique features of the Wakaatu includes the addition of 6 facial winglets, which contains the notorious venom sacs of the bird, and the Wakaatu has 3 tails, possibly to aid flight. Diluted samples of the venom, usually extracted from the feathers, were known to cause strong psychological hallucinations. This creature was also worshipped as a god by Tai and Lani's people, who used it as part of a rite of passage called the Awakening, and this was used for centuries. Moving away from some of the apex predators of the South Islands of Serra, the Serano Ocean was known to house some interesting and unique creatures. We have the Serano shark, which was a notable shark species found throughout the light zone in the Serano Ocean, which was a potential apex predator in its environment. Now, although this shark is just like those on Earth, Serra also had armoured sharks. These savage-looking sharks delved in the Twilight Zone and were one of the largest marine predators of the Serano Ocean, I'm guessing until the flooding of the Hollows at the end of Gears of War 2, as this allowed the gigantic Leviathan hollow creatures to enter the Serano Ocean and disrupt the food chain. The armoured sharks have hard, armoured bony plates, making them dangerous and hard to kill. They are between 12 to 15 feet long, and the armoured shark's mandible has been split in 2, and this adaptation allows the shark to swallow its prey whole through suction feeding, whilst its mandible acts as pincers to ensure the prey doesn't escape. The streamlined body of the shark, combined with its overly evolved suction feeding, means that this animal has been adapted for speed and takes advantage of their prey's slow metabolism. On Serra, there is also armoured fish. Just like the armoured sharks, they have a hard external bony plate, which can give them protection against an abundance of predators in the Serano Ocean. But the only predators with a bite force that could crush the fish's armour would be the different Serano sharks. We also have the iron jaw fish, found in the light zone and had smaller sized species, as well as larger sized species, up to 8 feet long giants that could bite a man's arm off. As their name suggests, these fish had a powerful bite, owing to its strong muscles. Iron jaws occupied the middle of the food chain becoming predators to smaller marine animals, whilst being prey to larger animals such as sharks and leviathans. There's also the Serano cephalopod, which was extremely vicious and lived in the deepest parts of the Serano Ocean, more specifically the Midnight Zone. These cephalopods have a hard, armoured, chitinous shell that protects the cephalopod from predators such as the armoured shark. Its rounded body has made the cephalopod poor in escaping through speed. Instead, it has 4 funnels around its body, which makes it highly manoeuvrable. As they live in the Midnight Zone, the Serano cephalopod has 6 large eyes to see through the faintest light and shadow to locate both predator and prey. It is armed not only with a savage pair of teeth, but also 10 whip-like tentacles. This allows the cephalopod to literally whiplash its prey, stunning them and then using the hooks to pull it into its maw. Next up is the Serano blowfish. These fish share the same peculiarity as the armoured shark, which is the presence of a heavily modified gaping maw. The fish is protected by erected spines around its inflated body, making it hard and painful for predators to swallow. The presence of 6 feelers or whiskers surrounding the maw could be a bait to attract prey via bioluminescence. This tells us that the Serano blowfish occupied the Midnight Zone where no light could penetrate. And it also has short fins, which highlight poor mobility, an interesting creature to say the least. Then we have the Serano lobster, a heavy and stocky built lobster found in the deepest depths of the Midnight Zone that have evolved to have incredibly thick chitinous armour to withstand the immense pressure at the bottom of the ocean. They are bottom feeders, foraging for scraps and flesh that have slowly drifted down the bottom of the ocean floor. They are known to scavenge and eat everything that dies in the depth, and are one of Serano Ocean's quintessential garbage cleaners. These lobsters have incredibly large, thick and powerful claws, needed to rip apart decaying flesh and fend off attacking predators. We also have extremely large and long rock eels, which were actually among a common food source of the humans of Serra. Due to its name, they may inhabit and hide between large rock formations in the Serano Ocean, but they commonly fished, so could be found in shallow and coastal regions of Serra. These rock eels were also amongst the creatures that turned lambent during the lambent pandemic, which were larger and would explode upon dying. Serra also has many animals just like Earth, such as cats, dogs, pigs, cattle, apes, whales, and so on, as well as horses that have 2 distinctive horns that are also much larger than the horses on Earth. So that, my friends, are the unknown creatures in Gears of War lore. Drop a like if you enjoyed this lore video, subscribe for more similar content like this, and I'll leave a link at the top right of the screen if you want to watch my other lore videos as well. I'm your host Abz, and as always, I will catch you guys next time.